That I'm a great drummer. No, I don't read a lot of it. I mean, of course, you end up looking at some of it, but you try to, you know, the great thing about the internet obviously is that you have access to information and you can find, you know, and it's not, you don't need hard copies, and you can, you know, somebody, you want to check out a quick review or what somebody or whatever, it's all there. The bad thing about the internet, of course, is that it gives everybody an opinion, and it gives everybody kind of, they get a chance to be anonymous, and sometimes, as you know, the things that people can write or end up writing are sometimes not particularly pleasant or respectful, and so I'm pretty thick-skinned and have been pretty thick-skinned for most of my life, and I sort of just, you know, as I get a little older, I find myself being less and less interested in, you know, when you're 20 or 30, it's like, ooh, what are people thinking? What are people writing? And, you know, as you get to be 150 years old like me, it gets a little just less interesting. I don't do it as much. Sure. But obviously, when you know, when you know, you start a tour or whatever, you know, your managers, they send you 6 links to, you know, 6 reviews of the gig or whatever, that type of stuff. But I don't spend a lot of time sitting sort of Googling myself or finding out what somebody what they say. But I mean, listen, I'm an internet junkie as much as everybody else is, but not so much about myself. Looking for things that are more interesting. I think probably the weirdest, the one that, you know, while we're getting into the whole Napster thing, the weirdest thing in the wake of the Napster thing, and I'm not a guy who spends a lot of time defending myself, or I'm not that I feel, you know, this particular need to sort of be combative back. But the one thing about all that Napster stuff, well, the 2 things about the Napster stuff that was really weird was that we were anti-internet, which was like I'm like, as I have probably in my house, I think we have like 9 computers. We have like a computer in like every room. I have a, you know, I have an iPad. I have like 3 iPhones. I mean, I'm the computer whore. Yeah. Seriously, I mean, I'm the reason that fucking, you know, Steve Jobs sold half the devices that he has. Trust me. So this whole thing, like Lars Ulrich's anti-internet, that one was out there. The other one that came in the wake of all that stuff was this stuff about Lars Ulrich being really greedy. I've always had an incredibly aloof relationship with money. Like when I didn't have any money, it was not anything that mattered to me. And now that we're fortunate to have some money, it doesn't like play a role in like anything we do. It doesn't really play a role in anything that I do. I'm not like, I don't, you know, sit there and look at my bank balances or count the money, or we sit there and micromanage, you know, Metallica, if we do this, or if we do this, or if we do this, or if we $17. I mean, it just, none of that stuff happens at all. I mean, the great thing about being successful is obviously in the wake of that comes, you know, what I look at money is it gives you freedom. It gives you freedom to not think about it, actually. That's the best thing. And it gives you freedom to kind of, you know, put as much money back into the shows and into the traveling and into, you know, making it all work. But this thing about like we're some sort of, you know, Gene Simmons like people that sit there and count pennies or something like that. I mean, it's absolutely preposterous. That is, those were the 2 strange things that came in the wake of all that, that we could just, are we control freaks? Absolutely. Guilty as charged, Your Honor. Slap on the wrist, all that stuff. Are we interested in sort of, you know, interested in sort of managing kind of what happens to Metallica and our songs and our name and all this type of stuff? Absolutely. But anti-internet, crazy, and and you know, greedy, absolutely crazy. In England, they you know, in the Kerrang and stuff like that, they love to call me. They have a nickname for me sometimes called the Tubby Tub Thumper, which is tubby obviously refers to being, you know, say slightly maybe overweight. I mean, I normally weigh around 142 pounds. So it's just that because I've got a really big, thick head with a big round face, it's like literally I'm like a, you know, I'm like a fucking tooth. Kirk Hammond calls me the walking toothpick. So it's like, you know, I sometimes I'll end up around 144, 145, but I'm not sure that I'm tubby. I might have a large head or, you know, big Danish cheeks, but there's not a lot of me. There's not a lot of me, as you can tell. No. But I've got a very good humor about all of this. If there's anything, I think, I mean, you know, I'm very, I always loved sort of, you know, pushing and making fun, and I love making fun of myself and everything about being a supposed rock star. So I don't have issues with any of that type of stuff.